Michelle, and I am a nerd about gear, especially when it's well designed and a little quirky. That's why I'm starting my gear reviews with the Lightheart Gear SoLong 6. I love this tent because it is pretty lightweight, it packs up super small, and it's like Harry Potter at the Quidditch World Cup. It is a palace inside for housewarmers.
Whenever your heart is broken, don't ever forget you're golden. I will find the light in your soul, I'll be there. Never leaving you in the darkness, even when you're out of focus. I will be.
It's a little awkward at first to set up this tent. You have to stake it out and then unzip the awning and door, get inside and insert your poles into the ridge pole at the top, kind of lift it all up, and then tension everything out on the outside. In wet weather, you want to avoid unzipping the awning as you get inside so that you won't get water inside the tent. All Lightheart Gear tents are designed to be used with trekking poles. The SoLong 6 uses poles that go to 130 plus centimeters. The plus is kind of useful because silnylon does get a little stretchy and saggy when it gets wet. So if you're in inclement weather, you want to be able to make your poles a little longer and tighten your tent a bit more. If you don't use trekking poles, you can order carbon fiber or aluminum tent poles to set up your tent. I suggest the aluminum because they are adjustable. Like a lot of cottage company silnylon tents, this tent does not come seam sealed, which is something that you need to do before you use it. Lightheart Gear does offer the service for a fee. I think it's like $30 to $35, or they will send you instructions for how to do it yourself. The SoLong 6 is a hybrid single/double wall tent. On the topmost part, it is single wall. Wherever the doors are on either side is a double wall with mesh doors and a silnylon awning or rainfly. One of the great things about this tent, even though it is mostly for one person, it does have doors on both sides. So if you were to leave all of your gear in the vestibule at night, you would be able to get out of the other side to pee. Or if you are two people, both people have an exit. Along the top there are two closable ridge vents. I pretty much always leave these open unless there's like an insane amount of rain. Like any silnylon tent, it can collect condensation, especially on the parts of the tent that are single wall, and leaving those vents open allows for better airflow and reduces the amount of condensation. Now let's talk about the awning. That was the quirk that originally sold me on this tent, and if I'm being honest, I rarely use it. I usually have the rainfly and awning completely rolled up so that I just have mesh doors to both sides, or if it is raining or there is a chance of rain, I just automatically put it in rainfly mode. The last time I did set up the awning was a particularly windy night, and the wind caught the awning and lifted it up in the middle of the night, and I had to get out to restake it down into rainfly mode, which was not fun. I'm going to say I have an older version of the SoLong 6 for 2018. The corner supports were updated to 10 inches. Mine are only 8 inches. I do imagine this adds a little bit more height in the corners of the tent, but to be honest, I don't really feel like they're particularly short in the older version. And since I'm short, I don't spend a lot of time hanging out in the corners of this tent. A much taller person might notice the difference, but right now there might still be some of the older 2017 versions on the Lightheart Gear website. So if you're watching this around the time that I'm recording it, head over to the website because you might be able to get a discount. Did I mention that this thing is massive? I'm only 5'3", but there is 100 inches lengthwise, 55 inches widthwise, and the height is at least 45 inches. When I just measured it, it was closer to 47. At the bathtub floor is about 8 inches. Angel and I have spent a few nights in this tent together, and it works for maybe a few nights at a time, but probably not more than that. But when we are sharing it, it is pretty comfortable. There's a small mesh pocket on one side. There isn't a clip or anything to hook a light to at the top, but sometimes I will tuck my headlamp band into the ridgepole and shine the light down. You need 6 stakes to stake this thing out. I use the MSR Groundhogs. With the stakes, it comes in at 37.5 ounces or 1,070 grams. I also always carry the awning pole and a Tyvek ground cloth. With these, it weighs 44.5 ounces or 1,250 grams. And with the extra poles, if you don't use trekking poles, the whole thing comes in at 53 ounces or 1,500 grams. Now, you don't need a ground cloth with this tent. I'm still of the opinion that I need a ground cloth, so I use Tyvek. It's pretty lightweight. It does make a lot of noise when you first get it, but if you crumple it up and throw it in the wash on cold and let it air dry, it becomes much more manageable and less noisy. A lighter weight option would be polycro or just not using a footprint. I am obsessed with this tent, and whenever I take it out with other people, I am showing off all the features. I love that I'm able to lay in the center of it and kind of have all of my stuff splayed about around me. I also really like that I'm able to roll up both of the doors and have like full mesh on both sides to see out into the night. There are so many creative options and little details, and this tent was obviously very lovingly and creatively designed, so I can't help but adore it. There is one complaint I have. On a slope with my sleeping pad, I slowly, or not so slowly, slide downward all night. There are ways to fix this. I could add like silicone stripes to the bottom to grip it a bit more. I could probably add that to my sleeping pad also, but I usually just don't worry about it. I think this might be an issue with a lot of tents because the fabric that's used is pretty slick. And lastly, all Lightheart Gear products are made in the United States in North Carolina. The last thing I want to mention is their repair policy. I haven't needed to test this out, but they do offer repairs for free or for a small fee. Personally, I think if anything were to happen to this tent, I could probably fix it myself. But I always love that it's an option when companies are willing to stand behind their products.
Even when you're